Sorry, Dust Brothers, I'll probably mistakenly tell everyone that the Chemical Brothers did this soundtrack.
All of this has got something to do with a girl named Marla Singer.
Well, not really, right? I mean, I guess, yeah, something, but not something major. She's basically a buddy to one guy and a debate opponent to the other. She doesn't really do anything to force the conclusion of this movie.
Between those huge, sweating tits that hung enormous, the way you'd think of gods as big.
I tend not to think of God's mammaries, much less the size. No wonder this movie lost at 10 Things I Hate About You at the 1999 domestic box office.
The Klipsk personal office unit. The Hovitrek home exerbike.
Incredibly awesome consumer products that are the tits and the best things ever made are satirized for their empty meaning in a movie full of Pepsi product placement.
You want to see pain? Swing by First Methodist Tuesday nights. See the guys with testicular cancer. That's pain.
This movie's entire plot kicks into gear because a guy seeking drugs actually took his doctor's suggestion to attend a testicular cancer meeting several days later and actually remembered to go. I'm getting the sense that Brad Pitt is in this movie. And I'm getting thirsty all of a sudden. But I'm sure that's unrelated.
Well, she had her first child last week. A girl with her new husband.
I'm uncertain whether to feel bad for these poor bastards or take their misery as gallows humor. No wonder this movie lost to Anna and the King at the 1999 domestic box office. Discount Robert De Niro, Sean Penn. Protagonist is a dick to anyone who might wish to view the support group schedule. Movie breaks a 7-year streak of me forgetting about Batman Returns.
Check-in for that flight doesn't begin for another 2 hours, sir.
Okay, so what? He can still go through security and wait for the flight, right? This is just the first of many cheats the movie will commit on its path to an admittedly badass conclusion. The movie makes itself instantly unavailable for in-flight viewing with fantasy plane crash sequence.
Life insurance pays off triple if you die on a business trip.
This movie never even once suggests that he has anyone in his life at all that he cares about enough to leave life insurance for.
Want to switch seats?
No, I'm not sure I'm the man for that particular job.
Anyone seated in the exit row may be called upon to perform emergency procedures? Not just the window guy. This business card passing is only one of many questions I have about this film's final reveal. These non-first class seats have Hollywood levels of legroom. Okay, so we know by the end of this that Tyler Durden is actually the narrator. So how is he stealing a car and checking on his vibrating luggage at the same time? Now we see him in a taxi coming back to his apartment, so is he actually in the stolen car or in the taxi? Massive explosion in Norton's apartment manages to keep Marla Singer's phone number completely unburned. In fact, it looks like it purposely left it unburned. Norton calls the number on the front of the card, but why is there a completely different number on the back of the card?
If you ask me now, I couldn't tell you why I called him.
Maybe because after Marla, you literally don't know any other people? It's a topless bar, despite there being not one single boob in the entire place.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tyler Durden.
Unreliable narrator is unreliable.
While the rest of us were sleeping, he worked.
Here comes the funny point in the movie where Tyler splices a frame of a penis into a family film. But Norton just told us that while the rest of us were sleeping, he worked. So what family is going to a family film this late in the hour?
So someone has to be there to switch the projectors at the exact moment that one reel ends and the next one begins.
There were still theaters that had to change reels back in 1999, but this was not the norm, and the movie explains it like it was a common occurrence.
If you look for it, you can see these little dots come into the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
And it will ruin movies for you for life until digital projection arrives. This part has always bothered me. It's a total movie cheat for a cheap laugh. Why the hell would this little girl be crying when she has no idea she's even seen a big cock?
Even a hummingbird couldn't catch Tyler at work.
What does that even mean? Hummingbirds are fast, sure, but they're not f***ing detectives. They're odd, amazing little freaks of nature who move quickly, but this statement still makes no f***ing sense. This catering company allows its waiters to wear Walkmans and listen to music while providing top-notch attentive dinner service. So, is this really happening in full view of the customers, or is it even happening at all? Again, I ask, if these people are normal people, wouldn't they just walk right up to Ed Norton and ask why he's kicking his own ass, thereby revealing the secret to him? Instead, the movie has Tyler say hey to the onlookers, and then cuts away as though nothing awkward was said afterwards.
So I graduate. I call him up long distance. I said, Dad, now what? He says, get a job.
Same here.
You too? Didn't you just say that you didn't know your dad, and your dad left when you were 6? Are you inventing a backstory for Tyler, or a backstory for you?
Can I get the icon in cornflower blue?
Absolutely. Efficiency is priority number 1, people.
How in the holy land of is giving this asshole the same icon in a different stupid shade of blue part of the model of efficiency? Ham sandwich is $3.75. The ham sandwich with cheese is $3.70 something. So at most, 4 cents more than the same sandwich without cheese.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Haha, what a silly rule. Or wait, is that the point? Damn it, no wonder this movie lost to Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo at the 1999 domestic box office.
The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Hilarious repeated rule that becomes the film's most memorable piece of dialogue goes utterly unenforced the entire movie. And in fact, the movie would be impossible if it was even remotely adhered to.
But Ricky was a god for 10 minutes when he trounced the maitre d' of a local food court.
They have maitre d's at food courts?
Shatner. I'd fight William Shatner.
Discount Leonard Nimoy.
Self-improvement is masturbation.
Then I am super self-improved. Wait, despite the rules we made such a fuss about, Fight Club continues growing at an exponential rate. Movie's sex scene with fake nudity is both awesome and creepy.
This is my house. What are you doing in my house?
To keep the illusion going for the audience, Marla helpfully says
F you.
instead of we were f***ing all night long, don't you remember?
Somebody call the cops.
Was it you? Who the hell would have called the cops in this shitty apartment complex? You've been on the phone with Tyler Edward Norton the whole time.
My God. I haven't been like that since grade school.
Man, that line is so freaking awesome, we have to knock a sin off. And by awesome, I mean disturbing as fuck. So yeah, is he really having sex with Marla and imagining himself doing sit-ups on the floor down below? Or is he actually doing sit-ups and imagining Tyler having sex with Marla? So he's the one that turns off the electricity during the rainstorm and it really goes out. So he's real right now, so why is she screaming? This phone call is another instance of the narrator we see on screen being physically real while Marla is apparently upstairs moaning to a vibrator. She comes over, but only to masturbate upstairs while he washes clothes in the kitchen.
Except for their humping, Tyler and Marla were never in the same room.
From what I've seen, it appears Tyler and Marla aren't even in the same room during that either.
The salt balance has to be just right.
The best time for explaining the details of the plan is during execution of said plan while security guards are nearby. Okay, so again, we just saw Tyler get his face pounded in by Lou a minute ago. So how does Norton basically have a clean face right now? He still has the bandage on his right hand from the lie burn earlier, so his face should look like it's in total disrepair right now.
Tyler dreamed up new homework assignments. He handed them out in sealed envelopes.
Well, Fight Club escalated quickly.
What are you getting out of all this? Is this making you happy?
Character accidentally chooses his words carefully to avoid being spoiled on his double life too early. The director said, let's have Tyler eating an apple in this scene. It'll make him look like even more of a non-existent asshole. I know we need transition shots, but where is he coming from right now? He doesn't have a job anymore, and we've literally not seen him spend any time away from Tyler on his own, away from this house, since they became friends. So where was he? Was it just so we can have this little he finds out there's all kinds of shit going on he doesn't know about scene? Because I feel like it is.
Same great taste. Pepsi. Generation Next.
Movie that has been shamelessly advertising Pepsi shamelessly shows us an actual Pepsi ad. How the f*** did they paint that huge circle and semicircle on the building?
I gotta take a piss.
What would Tyler and crew have done if this dude had a larger bladder? Can we call this urine ex machina? F*** you, movie. You clearly showed the narrator in the ballroom following the other waiters cluelessly, but now apparently he was physically in the bathroom the whole time as Tyler. And even if there's some magic wand explanation for that shit, you're telling me not only did Tyler know this dude was gonna need to pee at some point tonight, but he knew exactly when? Edward Norton gets to beat the f*** out of Jared Leto, which is what all of us wanted to do in the 90s after My So-Called Life, and well into the next century for 30 Seconds to Mars. And oh, by the way, he's the only one who ended up winning an Oscar out of this group.
Guys, what would you wish you'd done before you died?
Paint a self-portrait.
Build a house.
How do they know when to talk and when not to talk? How do they know which questions to answer and which ones not to answer? He's clearly talking to himself and answering his own questions. Tyler's version of hitting rock bottom and letting go means letting go of the wheel, but putting on your seatbelt so you don't get hurt. How does this dilapidated house support all this electricity and sheer number of people? This building was close to falling down with one person pretending to be two people living in it. And when he first got here, he said,
Turning on one light meant another light in the house went out.
We were supposed to kill two birds with one stone, destroy a piece of corporate art, and trash a franchise coffee bar.
Asshole Project Mayhem army guys had strictly kept to the don't talk about Project Mayhem rule until now, because the audience needs to know what's going on. Also, there can't be more than one place in all the world where it would be possible to do these two things at once. So let's all thank God for the convenient giant ball corporate art installation and its convenient location. Otherwise, Tyler's assignment is unfollowable.
They shot Bob.
Wait, the cops are right there shooting, and you still managed to retrieve the massively heavy corpse of Bob without also getting shot yourselves?
Was I asleep? Had I slept?
Well, that was my theory, especially when the movie kept hitting it so strongly, but I'm still at a loss to explain those scenes where you were listening to Tyler f*** Marla, or I suppose all the scenes where you literally interact with Tyler. How are you blacked out, but not blacked out at the same time? So, I mean, I kind of give up.
That aroma of old sweat like fried chicken.
Old sweat.
You broke your promise. You f***ing talked to her about me. Hello.
No, he didn't, actually. He just asked a few vague questions and never once said anything about Tyler Durden. She talked about Tyler Durden.
Because we're the same person.
This is one of those great mind f***s, of course. It's another reason why we love this movie so much. But one question. How has he never snapped into his normal self in the middle of doing all this other shit he's been doing as Tyler Durden? He's fine as long as he's in his hometown, but when he travels, he's suddenly Tyler all the time? Man, Pepsi had this movie by the balls. And I can't figure out if it's ironic or not. The anti-corporate message of the movie comes from disreputable sources, but we're supposed to laugh at the empty consumerism throughout the movie. No wonder this movie lost a stigmata at the 1999 domestic box office. Whoa, how lucky is that? They shot this on the day 7 Years in Tibet was in theaters. Guy in boxer shorts with a gun gets all the way from interrogation room out the front door of the police station because reasons. Either this cop car has yellow lights or this towing and or parking security vehicle has audible sirens. Either way, one sin. Let's leave the super secret underground van bomb unlocked all the way up until detonation. Cool? Cool, bro. Good idea.
But since when is Project Mayhem about murder?
The buildings are empty. We're not killing anyone.
Yeah, about that. You're about to blow up 10 buildings in a huge city with thousands of people driving and walking everywhere. Did you somehow find a way to make sure people weren't doing that? The bomb clock went from 2550 to 2545 in a record slow time of 24 seconds.
Near 400 gallons of nitroglycerin!
Dude, I've seen what a gallon of milk or water looks like. You do not have 400 gallons of anything in the back of that van. Yeah, no, he's dead now. How does shooting yourself in the cheek kill your imaginary friend in the back of the head without also killing you?
First person comes out this door gets a lid salad, you understand?
Ever since CinemaSins began, the most requested thing has been TV Sins, and now it's a reality. Click the link in the description below to check it out. And now, the audio outtakes.
Freedom. Losing all hope.
Have a nice day.
Now what's the next step of your master plan?
Crashing this plane.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Third rule of Fight Club.
No matter what a stripper tells you, there's no sex in the champagne room.
I mean, look at you. You domesticated yourself for this girl. No, you took yourself out of the life. You walked the f***ing line for her. And the minute you want a little of it back, she walks out on you. It's just like the saying says, you know, in the poker game of life, women are the rake. They are the f***ing rake.
When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside who had the ability to change whatever he wanted, to remake the Matrix as he saw fit. It was he who freed the first of us, taught us the truth.
Goddamn, Jim, how long you had that? Just a few days. It don't look too good. Yeah, it don't feel too good either, man.
I'm lonely, I'm telling you. Unbelievable.
Condescend me, man. I'll kill you, man.
Like a monkey ready to be shot into space.
I knew I was going to lead the army of the 12 monkeys into the pages of history before it ever even occurred to me.
Say it.
Because we're the same person.
Well, good for you, Marty. I was gonna let it go. You was looking so happy just now, I was thinking, But to tell you the truth, I'm glad you figured it. Because I have been dying to tell you.